I'm going to show you 11 ingredients that you can easily get that's going to boost your soap's lather experience. And some of these ingredients, I guarantee you have not heard of. One ingredient with the right amount will boost your bubbles, and if it's too much, it will deflate everything. Keep watching. You might just be using this particular ingredient too much in your soap load. Our first ingredient, beer. That's right, beer. Let's face it, most of us love lots of lather, and when we don't get it, we feel like the soap is pretty much broke. Beer doesn't disappoint. What makes beer lather are three things: the sugar, which helps to boost the lather; hops, which contain amino acids, which soften the skin and that enhances the lathering effect; and yeast, which helps to create a frothy, bubbly lather. But you need to boil the beer to remove the alcohol, refrigerate to remove the carbonation, and freeze before adding to lye, as you don't want a volcano effect all over your table. Beer can be a partial water replacement or a total water replacement in your recipe. So do not throw away your old beer, you guys. Put it in soap. Let's see what's next. This next ingredient is going to surprise some of you, and that's rice milk. Yes, rice milk boosts lather in soap, and preferably homemade rice milk. I mean, it's frustrating if you make a batch of soap only to end up with a batch that's just not producing enough bubbles. I mean, these are common issues that can be costing you money, and quite frankly, it's very annoying, especially when you're putting in so much time and effort into creating your soap. But the good news is that these problems can easily be fixed with the right ingredients, such as rice milk. You can prep it by washing the rice, steeping it or boiling it, blending it until it's smooth, and then actually squeezing it through a cheesecloth or straining it with a strainer. In this example, I'm actually using a nut milk bag. I generally love to add aloe vera and lavender essential oil to my rice milk. Don't worry, I will include the link to the rice milk soap video that I made. Rice milk has natural sugars and starches in it, which helps to boost the bubbles and the lather. It's best to make your own rice milk, you guys. You don't really want to buy it from the store because it's going to contain other ingredients that you may not want in your recipe. It's not that hard to make, and rice milk will give you creamy, luscious bubbles. Now, this next ingredient is a goodie. Stop what you're doing, go to your cabinet, and get that all-natural honey. This powerful ingredient will boost your soap lather because of its natural sugars. Dilute it with water, fragrance oil, or add it directly to your batter. Just blend it thoroughly and make sure you put your soap mold in the refrigerator or freezer for 24 hours because it will heat up your batter. This next ingredient is known by most of you to boost bubbles, and that's coconut milk. Like goat milk, it has a lot of milk sugars that help to boost your lather in your cold process. So you could use this as a partial water replacement, you guys, or a total water replacement. I would just suggest cool your coconut milk or freeze it before you add it to lye because you don't want it to scorch. This next one is a shocker, and is wine. Yes, wine can add lather to your soap. Not only does it add lather to your soap, it also can give your soap a rich color and a nice fragrance. It's the sugar in the wine that contributes to the luxurious lather. However, just like the beer, you need to boil it down to remove carbonation and alcohol. Freeze the wine before adding it to lye, and preferably put it on an ice bath to keep the lye pitcher cooler to avoid scorching. Just amazing. But our next ingredient is common, and is potatoes. Did you know? Did you guys know that potatoes can boost the lather in your cold process soap? Yes, it can, and I did a whole video on this. I'm gonna put the link in so you can check it out. But adding potato juice or the puree can definitely create beautiful lather for your soap. Like the rice, the starch and sugars in potatoes boost the bubbles in your soap. Potatoes have natural water in them, which makes them moisturizing for soap. I would just suggest blending it in your oils before adding it to your batter. This next ingredient is a shocker, and that's sunflower oil. What? Yes, sunflower oil can help stabilize the lather so it doesn't disappear quickly in your batch. The suggested amount to use is up to about 25%. Adding this to your recipe will help stabilize your bubbles that you already created with the recipe you developed. Now, this next one is the one that is tricky, and that is castor oil. Typically in every soap recipe, its unique fatty acid makeup creates a rich lather in handmade soap. It's often called the bubble booster, and just 1% can contribute to a stable and fluffy lather in your soap. However, if you add too much, you will suck the life out of your bubbles. The recommended amount is no more than 10%. The next item that's going to boost lather in your soap is sodium lactate. Yes. It's produced by fermenting sugars from corn or beets. You can use 1 teaspoon per pound of oil. Generally, mix it into your water-lye solution after it has cooled, and it will help to release your soap from its soap mold. So not only does it help produce lather, but it also helps to unmold your soap so it doesn't stick. Awesome. Now the next ingredients are the highlight bubble boosters, lather makers, and soap. Here we got coconut oil. Now coconut oil is a staple for soap makers because it's known for its cleansing and lathering properties. It is especially effective in cold process soap. 100% coconut oil soap can even lather salt water, and that's banana. That's insane. But here's some things to know. If you add too much, you will dry out your skin. And the recommended amount that you shouldn't use more than is 20% in your recipe. Coconut oil is known to help harden your bars, and I know there's people that make 100% coconut oil soap bars, which is incredible, but I'm imagining it could be drying also. This next ingredient is the A-spoon coon. It's sugar. Come on, you guys. Most of these ingredients on this list have a common denominator, and it's sugar. Azúcar. Yes, adding sugar to soap can increase the amount and the richness of your lather. It affects the surface tension of soaps, which allows bubbles to last longer, and it allows it to build up. It also speeds up the rate in which other lather forms. Any sugar that I add to my soap loaf, I dilute it in water first. A warning. Any ingredient that contains sugar, you want to be careful because it will heat up your soap bath. Remember that some of these ingredients need to be frozen before you add it to lye. Please do your research. Don't forget to click here to see my lavender rice milk soap video. Protect your beautiful skin and your beautiful energy. I'll see you in the next video.